Hi guys, welcome in if you are a first time viewer. Welcome back if you are a returning viewer. Thank you for your likes, your comments, your subscribes, and to those of you who have booked a personal reading with me, please keep in mind that these are general messages, so do not take them personally. Take the messages that resonate and leave the rest behind. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can find the information in the description box below. So let's get into this message. I had to take a little break because that full moon energy took a lot out of me. So let's pull some cards to see what messages you have for the collective at this time. If you have not seen that full moon reading, please go take a look at it. There may be a message in there for you. Very transformative energy. What message do you have for the collective at this time? Help me to articulate a clear and concise message in order for it to be received in the way that you want it to best be received. Help me to see what it is that I need to see to get the message across as clear as possible. And help me to deliver any messages that you deem worthy in order to serve your highest good, for the highest good of humanity with harm to none. What messages do you have for the collective at this time? This, I want to say, is going to speak to the offering that is coming into you, coming in for you, right? Grounded, yeah. Because out of a seed that you have planted, it's like the harvest is here. Loving, right? You have nurtured something, you have cared for something, you have given your time, your attention, your efforts towards something, and now you're getting ready to see the fruit being born from what it is that you have. It's like you nurtured something back to health, right? You made something out of nothing, right? You saw a need for something and you filled the space where necessary, right? You kind of, it's almost as if like seeing the unseen, right? This is almost like high priestess energy, where it's kind of like you pay attention to the things most people don't notice. And because you have that keen sense of detail, right? It's almost as if like you feel areas or feel voids where most people aren't even aware that something is missing, right? And so sometimes that can be taken like defensively if the other opportunity or person or whatever is on the other side of this, sometimes it can make that person, opportunity or effort or whatever show up in a defensive manner, because it's almost as if they're not aware, again, of the void in which you're trying to fill. Because you see things that most people hide. And that, in a sense, is more so like, but more so in a way that you don't necessarily speak on it, right? Because their eyes are closed, right? So again, you're seeing in the subconscious, but you're more so observing, right? The high priestess is the observer. She doesn't necessarily speak unless she has something to say. And when she speaks, it's almost as if like it's something of a profound message, right? That really hits you in your soul, right? She's not going to make small talk just for the sake of having conversation. She's going to say something, again, to fill the void that's going to hit you in your soul, again, in a place in which you may have chosen not to acknowledge, or a place that you may have thought not other people could see, right? And it's going to fill that void. It's going to make you feel seen in places where you may not have been seen previously. But it's very loving. It's also very nurturing, right? It's also giving Queen of Pentacles, Queen of Wands energy, right? Because the Queen of Wands is kind of that spiritual sense, and the Queen of Pentacles is the one who kind of fills the voids for resources in which people desire. But again, this is also you kind of being in this receiving energy, right? Because if that is who you are internally, right? If that's who you are on a daily basis, if that's who you are just in general, right? Again, with this energy that we're moving forward in is that is going to be reflected back to you, right? Opportunities filling voids that you didn't even know were existing within your reality, right? People coming in to nurture the places in which you have kind of placed a band-aid over to kind of cover those wounds, right? Not necessarily that you haven't healed them, but this is healing in a more in-depth manner, right? And so be careful not to reject it at first, right? The same way it occurs to you on the opposite side. Because this is just love, right? This is unconditional love. Someone trying to nurse you, someone trying to be generous, right? To heal you in the places in which your roots may need a little bit reviving, in a sense, right? Because what I'm seeing here is like the roots underneath the ground are dried and cracked, but here they're thriving and flourishing, right? So again, the foundation of your being, right, may be a little bit, you may feel a little bit scarred from the foundation of your being, right? It could be something that happened in your childhood or something that happened in your past in general. Maybe just an experience that you have had that you have, again, kind of just like placed a band-aid over. But this is someone who is coming to, not even someone, an opportunity, an experience, a new lifestyle, a new mindset, right? It's going to resonate for each of you differently. These are general messages. But again, something is being healed within you, right? From the inside out, from the root, so that the fruit being born from that tree will be as healthy as possible. Because that's the most important thing when you're considering the birth of your legacy, right? Whether that be ideas, certain creative endeavors, businesses, people, right? A family, a community, friendship, connections, right? Whatever type of legacy you leave, right? It speaks to your image and how you impact those around you who come into contact with you. Clarify, generous. The Ten of Cups, emotional fulfillment with the Five of Wands, right? So again, you may have, the thing is, you may have never felt safe enough in a space where you could truly be loved by others, right? For all of who you are, flaws and all, right? You may have never had that balance of acceptance and loving and care and nurturing from the people, the experiences, the opportunities, right? Whatever it is that you were giving to, right? The Ten of Cups speaks to emotional fulfillment in every sense of the way. emotional fulfillment within yourself and the people around you pouring into you just as much as you pour into them, right? With the moon, your subconscious, the things unseen, right? So this is definitely the energy of, again, this new transformation might be bringing in an opportunity, a person, an experience, right? A lifestyle, a new perspective, right? Of that kind of challenges how you view family, right? It kind of challenges how you view friendships. It challenges how you view connections that provide emotional support as a whole, right? Because again, that may be something that you have never experienced, right? And it might be a little bit overwhelming because it is going to come in so generous, right? That it's really going to kind of feel your emotions, right? It's going to shift the world around you, right? Because it may not have been, again, something that you have ever experienced, right? There may have been conflict within your family previously, right? Where there was a lot of, chaos. There was a lot of jealousy. There was a lot of challenges. There was a lot of just negative things that cause people to not be supportive and you not being able to trust the people around you, right? Because you could kind of see their intentions. You could see what it was that they were dealing with, even if it wasn't something that they were speaking on, right? Or even if it wasn't something that they were vocal about, right? But because, again, you have this like high priestess energy, right? Again, you can be a high priestess, male or female. There is no gender in tarot. It just speaks to the frequency of the energy, right? But they're definitely, how can I put this into words, right? Because you have this high priestess energy, they didn't have to necessarily be vocal about what it is that they were experiencing because you are the observer, right? You have a deeper sense of wisdom, a deeper sense of knowledge, and a deeper sense of, you have a deeper connection to the spiritual reality, right? To the subconscious, right? But whatever this is coming in for you is definitely going to shift the world around you. It's going to change how you view, again, family, friendships, connections of any kind, partnerships, how people show love, how people give love, right? How love shows up for you. And it's really going to show you who you are, because it's going to essentially show you the love that you give, right? It's going to pour into you just as equally as you pour into it, right? There's a strong, like, nurturing connection, very caring, very patient, right? Very attentive, very intuitive, right? There may be some things that it's like people catering to you in ways that you don't even know you need to be catered, in areas in which you don't even know that you need to be catered in, right? People being able to, or experiences, opportunities, being able to kind of see you for the things that you don't speak on, for the things that you don't see, for the things that you don't say, right? But they kind of see those things within you, right? They kind of see the challenges that you went through within a family aspect. They kind of see the challenges you went through within not being able to trust, or not being able, or not receiving enough support, right? In that sense. But this energy is definitely going to, again, shift your reality, shift your perspective, shift the way that it's going to bring you, it's almost as if it's going to make you feel like you're on top of the world, right? Because, again, this is like a level of support that you have never received, right? A level of care, nurturing, nourishment, attention to detail that you have never received, right? You may have been the one that was kind of always ignored until it was time to point the finger, right? Nobody saw you until they wanted somewhere to place the blame. That's kind of this Five of Cups, Ten of Cups energy. Five of Wands, Ten of Cups energy, right? Placing the blame on something. Not But it's also because not everybody is able to connect to their emotions or their intuition or that deeper sense of knowing the way that you are. Right? And so that in itself can kind of cause friction, resistance, right, within a sense. But it also shows that you are resilient in a sense, right? Because you kind of led with your intuition to kind of shift the world around you, right? You may have disconnected from these energies that were not supportive, not trustworthy, right? Things, people, places, opportunities that kind of try to place you in this energy of not being worthy or not being seen or not being as intuitive or intelligent or emotionally supportive as you are, right? You disconnected from the things that you could not trust with your emotions, that you could not connect to emotionally because they displayed some type of spite. They displayed some type of jealousy. They tried to create resistance within your reality, right? They tried to diminish your sense of character or try to humble you in a sense by encouraging you to not be who you are. But again, this opportunity that's coming in is there's a complete reverse effect, right? It's almost going to be an overpour, right? Because I'm kind of like, I don't feel emotional, but I'm definitely kind of sensing like an emotional sense where like it's kind of going to be like overwhelmed with emotion, right? That's kind of what this feels like, overwhelmed with emotion. It's just going to be like an overpour, because it's not going to be like any level of support that you have ever experienced, right? It may be something that you have kind of envisioned, that you were kind of waiting on to show itself up. Oh, the Three of Wands was here. Where did it go? Oh, I shuffled. The Three of Wands was at the bottom of the deck, but I shuffled. But yeah, again, it was something that you have kind of envisioned for yourself. Kind of imagine you were kind of waiting on it to show up. You had faith, but you were also prepared if it didn't, right? But it's here. The balance is here. 2 and 4 is 6, right? There's going to be an equal balance of give and take. Whatever you give is going to be returned to you. That's that infinity, right? Because essentially what you pour into the world is what you will receive. So if you pour jealousy, if you pour spite, if you pour hate, if you pour lack of support, you're going to ultimately receive that, right? Gossip and all those things, you're going to receive that. But if you pour love, if you pour nourishment, if you pour care, all of the things, right, you're going to receive that in return. Whether you're doing it consciously or subconsciously, that's just how the universe works. You give what you receive. You receive what you give. But again, this is like an overpour of generosity, of love, of support, of care, right? Of belief, right? Somebody or something who encourages you, right? Who is in favor of your growth, who's in favor of your connection to you, to God, to the Most High, to them, right? To the things that you choose to build and nourish, right? Clarify, grounded. The Hierophant and the Justice. Balance. This is God, the Most High, placing favor on your life, right? Because of the seeds that you have planted, right? Justice is balance, right? Remember I said here, generous, 4 and 2 is 6. That's balance, right? If I'm not mistaken, justice is the number 6 in the deck. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's 11. Yeah, there's favor, right? Because you have look, the Emperor. You have remained look, in the 10 of Pentacles. There's something that you have been putting effort towards, something that you have been building on, right? You've been creating something, right? You've committed yourself to something, right? You've learned how to strategize, right? You have learned how to set a firm foundation of tradition and values, right? What it is that you believe in, right? You have learned how to not only set goals for yourself, but how to go after them, right? How to be your own leader, right? And how to influence others, to go influence and inspire others to go after what it is that they desire, right? The King of Wands speaks to the King of Wands in the Emperor aspect speaks to like the boss, right? Somebody who is in charge of others, but also in charge of themselves and their own endeavors, right? But with the Warrior of Pentacles, it's almost as if like you have kind of committed to this journey of remaining within the Emperor status, right? Being disciplined, being committed, right? The Emperor represents all four kings: the King of Wands, the King of Pentacles, the King of Swords, and the King of Cups, right? The King of Cups is someone who is emotionally intelligent, right? Someone who has the ability to kind of see a need within the emotions and understand them within a level of depth, right? Whereas the Queen of Cups more so just kind of senses the need and feels the void, right? She's more intuitive, whereas the King of Cups more so intellectualizes his emotions, right? He's someone who kind of understands from a emotional aspect, but it's not necessarily, he is connected to his emotions, but again, in a more physical aspect, whereas the Queen of Cups is more connected to her emotions in the spiritual aspect, right? There's a difference. But definitely like within creating again your legacy, right? The Ten of Pentacles speaks to your legacy. What kind of resources are you creating for yourself? What kind of impact are you looking to leave behind? That what kind of stamp are you trying to put on your name, right? What seeds are you trying to leave for those that come after you to kind of bear the fruit of, right? What are you planting? How are you impacting those that have come before you and are going to come after you, right? Including the ones that are around you within this current moment, right? All of those aspects are included within your legacy, right? But the Hierophant again also speaks to like, it's almost as if like you have been kind of following this sense of intuitive guidance, right? The Hierophant is like the God card, right? It's the spiritual leader, right? The counterpart to the High Priestess. This is like your blessings. Your blessings are being brought down to you for you to, because all of this is physical energy. There's nothing spiritual here, right? Even the Hierophant speaks to the physical sense of tradition, morals, values, right? The spiritual leader within a physical sense, whereas the High Priestess speaks to it in a more subconscious sense, right? The unseen realm. But the Hierophant represents the seen, right? So this is here in the now, right? There's nothing, there's physical evidence of the seeds that you have planted, right? There's physical evidence of the legacy that you have begun to create for yourself, right? There's balance being brought into your reality and you're getting ready to see the physical effects if you have not begun to see them already, right? This is fruit being born from the seeds that you have planted. The Ten of Pentacles, this is your resources multiplying. This is your values multiplying. This is who you influence, who you inspire multiplying. These are the seeds that you're getting ready to plant, right? In addition to the ones that you have already planted, right? The ones that are already ready to kind of bear fruit, they're getting ready to be more seeds planted from those fruit, right? Does that make sense? When you pick one apple, there's at least 4 more apples that have the opportunity to be born from that one apple, right? So think of how many apples are come up on a fruit tree, right? That's an abundance, right? And with every apple you get 3, 4, 5 seeds within each apple, right? And so think about how many opportunities are being born. That's that Ten of Pentacles. How many opportunities are being born from these seeds that you have planted, right? How many connections, how many new ideas, how many new businesses, how many new relationships, right? How many new, like how much impact are you making based off of what it is that you have created for yourself in this reality? And again, this is like a blessing from God, a blessing from the heavens, right? You have the World here in the Tradition card. It could be that something within your faith is shifting because you're receiving clarity on something. So again, if there was an area in which, because I'm seeing the sun both here and the moon here, but also the moon here. And see how these are connected, but here it's one. So something within your subconscious, something within your intuition is being made clear, right? It's being brought to you. It's also serendipitous, right? Being in the right place at the right time. It's also harmony. A sense of balance and peace, right? Where you are able to kind of receive this level of consciousness from this information that you're receiving, right? But something in your faith is shifting. That's going to kind of shift your world, right? And it could be because this manifestation is coming in. You're getting, like, you have already seen the power of your manifestation, how you bring things into your reality. But because this manifestation is so abundant, is so large, right? It's getting ready to really kind of place a confidence within yourself, right? A Godfidence in a sense. Of how you have the ability to bring things to life, how you have the ability to create life, make something out of nothing, right? Balance the 4 elements, right? Because you're committed to learning, you're committed to the research, you're committed to the understanding, right? You're committed to the depth of emotion, right? You're committed to the discipline of going after your desires, right? Chasing your dreams. You're committed to the plan. You're committed to the strategy, right? Setting a direction and moving forward towards it. And not letting others kind of sway your opinion or sway your discernment or kind of sway your understanding, right? Because you have your own understanding. You have a connection to God, the Most High, who gives you clarity on the subconscious, on the things unseen. Right? Who gives you understanding on different levels of faith, who gives you understanding on different aspects of morals and values, right? And how people experiences things carry themselves, right? How they present themselves, right? You have a different level of understanding than what the people around you may have because you yourself are connected to God. You're not relying on their connection. That also is how you have maintain this 10 of Pentacles, right? Because you also teach them the resources to do the same, right? How to do the same, how to kind of accrue the same level of, not the same level, because not everybody has the ability to maintain and sustain the same connection with God, right? Not everybody is committed the same way you are, but you kind of like share a wealth of resources. I received a message yesterday, and it said, riches are meant to be obtained, wealth is meant to be shared, right? And so this is like your wealth, right? How you are. The 10 of Pentacles represents wealth, right? Knowledge, wisdom, right? Time, effort, attention, finances, right? Those things are meant to be given so that you can continue to receive it in a multiplied aspect, right? The more you give, the more you receive, right? So again, providing your knowledge and your wisdom on the lessons that you have learned is kind of helping you to grow in a sense, just the same way as it's like you're bringing other people up as you move up, right? That's wealth. Riches are just meant to be obtained, and they are not necessarily something that can be maintained or can replicate itself, right? It's more so something that's received and spent. It doesn't accrue any interest. Wealth, on the other hand, accrues interest to the 10th degree. That's the difference. Clarify, loving. Because I did not plan on making this too long. Actually have somewhere to be. Look, the King of Wands, the Goddess of Wands, although there are no masculine energy in this deck. outside of the emperor. The goddess of wands is represented as the king of wands, right? Again, somebody who has the ability to kind of go after their passions, right? The boss, the leader, right? The CEO. Transformation with the tower. And look at that tree in the back, right? You're creating something. You're giving birth to something. But it's almost as if like your story, I don't want to say that. Because it's not as, how can I put this into words? It's almost as if like your story kind of like, I don't want to say it that way. Okay, I'll say how your story turns out kind of breaks down the belief of and the lies and the misconceptions, right? Or the ideologies that people try to place on you, right? Your story kind of, the truth of your story diminishes the lies that they try to place on you, right? Because no one person is better than the other, but your story definitely kind of makes other people's towers fall down, right? The transformation, this is like someone being born from the fire, right? The phoenix rising from the ashes, right? That's kind of what this energy is, right? And because, again, in the beginning, you said people tried to place lies on you, jealousy, they didn't want to support you, right? Because they knew who you were intuitively, even if they didn't necessarily have an understanding of why they felt that way, right? But they tried to discourage you. They tried to tell you that you weren't who you said you were, right? They tried to place you in this box, right? Where you were not going to be able to achieve all of the things that you have set your mind to, right? And this is proof, right? The phoenix is being born, right? The phoenix has risen from the ashes. You are who you say you are. You have created every single thing that you said you would have, right? You have nourished yourself, right? You have nurtured your passions, right? You have nurtured your desires, right? Nothing that you have set your mind to has remained idle. Everything that you have put your effort towards, everything that you have put your attention towards, everything that you have put your hands to is thriving, is flourishing, right? It's not just something that you are doing as a hobby, but it is thriving. It's living in a consistent cycle of life where, in a sense, where it is creating more, right? So again, it doesn't matter that's the tower that's coming down. Everybody who said that you couldn't, everybody who tried to put you in a position so that you wouldn't, right? You are. You've torn down those aspects of that sense of jealousy, right? Those negative mindsets, right? The sun and the chariot. All major arcana. Look at how many major arcana are on the board. You have the world, the moon, the hierophant, the justice, the emperor, the tower, the sun, and the chariot. And the death card. Blessings on blessings on blessings on blessings. This is God. God is heavy in your life. Heavy in your life. This is you following a mission, you following a purpose, right? Not to prove other people wrong, right? But to break down those false prophets, right? Those, again, that tried to say that you couldn't or that you wouldn't, right? Those that tried to put you in a position so that it would make it harder for you to overcome, right? But you did 12 times stronger than they said that you would. Right? This is you serving a mission, serving a purpose of clarity, right? Of consciousness and a strong sense of faith, right? Breaking down those walls in which the false realities in which they were existing in, right? Again, there could have been, everybody has that story of there are people who said that you would need them before they needed you, right? And you have truly broken down that concept, right? You haven't even spoken the words, but it's just the actions in which you're living in that kind of makes that tower fall, right? It kind of puts them in this place of insecurity because they truly believe that you would need them before you needed them. Right? They knew that you didn't, but they tried to make you believe that they how can I put this into words? They knew that you wouldn't need them before they needed you, but they tried to make you believe that you would, so that you would kind of exist within that codependency energy instead of rising and stepping into who it is that you are meant to be, right? Because you are the leader. You are the one who sets the tone, right? There is people follow your passion. People follow your desire, right? Because you're a teacher, right? You're also a student, right? You also have a strong sense of faith, right? Because they follow that connection to God, right? People who have a close connection to God have a really strong presence. They have a really strong aura about them, right? Whether people are aware of that consciously or subconsciously, right? They naturally feel drawn to that. And it doesn't matter if they have a negative response to it or a positive response to it. Most times, if they have a negative response to it, it's because they aren't truly aware of how connected or who you're connected to. That they aren't aware of who's protecting you in the subconscious or in the spiritual realm, right? Those two worlds exist, right? And not everybody is willing or accepting of the spiritual reality, right? People believe in the Holy Ghost, but they don't believe in their ancestors, right? Crazy. But again, you have followed some sense of, you followed your passion, you have followed your purpose, right? Your guidance, even if you weren't necessarily aware of the purpose that it was going to serve in that moment, because you have followed your guide. Look, and remember I said the sun here and the sun here, and it came out. There's a knowing. This is the happiest card in the deck. And with the Hierophant, this is anointing that nobody can touch, right? An anointing that nobody can put their finger to, right? Because you're so protected, right? Think about how close you have to get to the sun before you can be burned, right? You don't have to be close at all, right? Us existing on this earthly realm, not even in space, but you can be burned by the sun just by being on earth, right? By being in the sun too long. That's how protected you are, right? If people place too much negative energy around you, they'll get burned. If people spread too many rumors about you, they'll get burned. They speak on your name too negatively, they'll get burned. And they may not even be aware that things are happening to them in their life because of how they're speaking on you, what they're saying about you, the lies they're spreading about you. But they are aware. They may not be aware of how that negative karma is being brought into their space, right? But again, because you are so close to God, anybody that does too much on you, they're going to get burned. Oh yeah, let's get out of this, because I am not going to spend too much time on that. Let's pull 4 cards. 1 card for what we can learn as a major lesson surrounding this message. 1 card for the opportunities we can create surrounding this message. 1 card for what we can meditate on as the focus of this message. And 1 card for the new cycles and habits we can innovate to contribute to our growth and expansion regarding this message. While people are busy spreading lies, you're busy growing, building yourself up, helping people, building your legacy, right? Building influence, impacting those around you, right? Building a firm foundation, creating more opportunities, creating more ideas. And what are they doing? Everything around them is crashing and burning because they're too close to the sun. They're speaking on you too much. They're lying on you too much. They're spreading too many lies around you, and they don't even understand why everything around them is falling down. You're too close to the sun, love. Stop speaking on my name. Stop talking about me. Stop spreading lies. One card for what we can learn as the major lesson surrounding this message. Liberation, soul forgiveness, right? And you may have to display some, again, level of forgiveness. You cannot hold any, you yourself cannot hold any spite, any jealousy towards these people that are speaking on you or trying to cause demise around your life, right? Because there is no demise around your life because you have separated yourself from this, right? You have kind of distanced yourself from this energy, right? They're getting burned on their own. You have nothing to do with that, right? That has nothing to do with your influence, but everything to do with the protection that God has placed around you, right? Because here you are, your focus is on other things. Your focus is on your purpose. Your focus is on action, being driven towards the things that you are creating in this life, right? Your focus is not on the gossip. Your focus is not on the people who didn't support you, right? Your focus is not on the people who tried to discourage you or place or tarnish your name, right? Again, your focus is on what it is that you are creating, right? And so, again, don't hold any, like, free yourself from this idea that you have to kind of wish ill will on them, right? Because you don't. They're doing that to themselves by wishing ill will on you, right? Because again, whatever you pour into the universe is going to be returned back to you. So if you wish negative on somebody else, that negative is going to return back to you, not to them, to you, the one who wished it. Right? That gossip that you're spreading, those lies that you're spreading is more so of a reflection of who you are internally and less of a reflection of who they are. Right? So be careful about what you say about other people because that's exactly what will come back to you. So keep living in your freedom, right? Keep living in this existence of moving forward, right? Keep walking with your heart light as a feather, right? Because that's how you remain close to God, right? You don't carry any burdens of negative entities. You don't carry any burdens of jealousy, right? You don't carry any burdens of ill will on the people who have tried to hold you back or keep you from moving forward, right? You are the phoenix who has risen from the ashes, right? You don't care about what birds say. Right? You don't care about what Tweety Bird over there has to say, right? Because you are the phoenix. There's no comparison between the two. So why would you even go back and forth? One card for the opportunities you can create. Wounded healer and shine because you have overcome. Continue to overcome, right? That's the legacy that you're looking to leave, right? People who don't have to spread gossip around other people to thrive, right? Because they're going to live off of the legacy in which you create, right? A legacy of purity, a legacy of clarity, right? You yourself is going to protect them from this energy of the Tower moment, from that Five of Wands energy of gossip, jealousy, right? Negative entities trying to create chaos, fights, right? From people who really aren't doing well or creating a stable life for themselves, right? Just because they acquire something doesn't mean that it's worth investing in, right? Just because they obtain something, that doesn't mean that it's worth something that is sustainable enough to build on, right? You can't build an investment off of materialistic things. Your legacy, the impact of your legacy is not going to be born off of how many pairs of shoes you have. So keep that in mind. One card for what we can meditate on as the focus of this message: etheric cords and self-sabotage. Your legacy. You are protected from this energy, right? But also don't place yourself back in that space by feeling the need to retaliate, right? Feeling the need to kind of clear your name, right? Because you don't have to clear your name. Your name is cleared just by them being burned by the sun from speaking on you, right? Again, you don't have to, not to say that you don't have to protect yourself, but you are so protected by God that what they're saying is not touching you, right? So definitely be mindful, meditate on how you can, again, keep yourself protected from this energy, and also maintain the investments that you have made, right? Which are the foundation in which the legacy you are leaving, right? One card for the opportunities we can create surrounding this message. Cosmic power and radical rebirth. The phoenix that rose from the ashes. Continue to follow your passions, right? Continue to create habits that encourage your strength, encourage your growth, right? Encourage the renewal of who it is that you are becoming, right? For the legacy in which you are leaving, right? 5 represents change, right? So again, continue to look, and the sun and the moon is everywhere. There's a balance within you, right? We saw that within the Justice card, within your feminine and your masculine, right? And with the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles on the table, there's definitely, again, you receiving what it is that you have given, right? There's a balance that's getting ready to be placed in your life, a burden that's getting ready to be lifted. Every area in which you felt confused or stagnant, there's getting ready to be movement. There's getting ready to be motion. There's getting ready to be clarity placed on those areas in which you were questioning, right? Not necessarily questioning in a sense of should I do it, but more so asking for more clarity, right? You're getting ready to receive that clarity in which you were wishing to receive, right? And again, be mindful not to place your legacy in the hands of those who try to diminish your power, right? Once you receive this blessing, you don't have to go back to prove to other people that you received it. You can continue to move forward in creating more, right? You don't have to go back to prove, right? The phoenix has nothing to prove to Tweety Bird. There's no comparison. Continue to move forward. The phoenix has a mission to serve. The phoenix has a purpose, right, to serve, to fulfill, right? The phoenix has a sense of protection to pursue, right? A legacy to build, right? So definitely keep that in mind. But that is the message that I have for you guys. Such a beautiful message, powerful, right? Definitely keep in mind that those who speak on your name have no idea who you are or who you're protected by, right? And so definitely keep that in mind. If you feel like this message resonated with you, please don't forget to press a like button. I know that if you made it to the end of this video, you have found something in it that is worthy and valuable to you. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. Bye.